What is going on, guys? The Inside the Blue podcast, and today breaking down the New York Yankees' unfortunate series loss and recap against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. The New York Yankees were unable to win the series against their rivals, the Boston Red Sox, and I look at this series and, hey, they lost the series. They're still the first place Yankees, but this series upcoming is a huge series against the Baltimore Orioles. These two teams have clashed before, Baltimore getting the better half in Baltimore. Now they come to the Bronx, and now it's a whole different ballgame. The Yankees are getting a bunch of guys that need to get going, and also, they get Garrett Cole back. Garrett Cole is back, but getting into this Boston series before we get into Baltimore and what we need to see different, Boston, they kind of kicked the Yankees' butt. Honestly, I wasn't really expecting this out of Boston. Boston's been a good team, even though the record doesn't show that, in my opinion. Boston, I look at the squad, they just got guys that can just run for days and run, and that's what they did. Game 1, the Yankees got the win on Friday, 8-1, and that's the game Luis Gil pitched. We'll get into Luis Gil in just a moment, but the Yankees got the job done for Game 1, and I thought that's kind of how Game 2 and Game 3 was going to go. But that wasn't the case. Boston Red Sox, after dropping the first game, the Red Sox won the next two, and they won the series 2 out of 3. Yankees not getting the wins that they need to get in a tight AL East race. And the Boston Red Sox, after Game 1 and Game 2, they ran over the New York Yankees. Base running was the key factor kind of at the end of this series. And they just kept running and running and running, and the Yankees couldn't stop it. Especially when Marcus Stroman started, not in the Carlos Rodon start. The Carlos Rodon start, it started with just Rodon letting up doubles after doubles, and it wasn't pretty from Rodon. And I guess you could say from a Carlos Rodon standpoint, you can't really get mad at him at all, and you shouldn't, because he's had a good season this year. He's bounced back after having, I believe, a 6+ ERA, something that's not good, especially with the contract that he has, that 6-year luxury contract. And the Yankees want him to be the number 2 behind Garrett Cole, but it feels like for this season, he's kind of the number 2 behind Luis Gil. And Luis Gil has stepped in and had a masterclass start against the Boston Red Sox and season. Luis Gil was a guy that I looked at, and I wondered if they were going to put him back in the bullpen and ease his arm out because he was just coming off a major injury. That doesn't seem to be the case. This guy seems to be the starter and one of the best this league in baseball. And with the New York Yankees, Garrett Cole was out. Garrett Cole suffered an injury, and he wasn't able to pitch for a long time. And he's had some rehab starts that have went very well. He allowed a homer, and other than that, racked up 10 Ks in the start. So Garrett Cole has shown to Aaron Boone and the staff that, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to pitch now, and I want to pitch especially in a big series against the Baltimore Orioles. And the Yankees missed Garrett Cole, but the starting rotation stepped up in a big way, and they needed to. Because if they didn't step up in a big way, I don't think we could talk about the Yankees being in the position that they are and the wins that they have. The first team to 50 wins and the best team in the AL currently. 1.5 games up on the Baltimore Orioles. But getting into Luis Gil, like I said, this guy stepped in and played a major role for this team. He needed to be good, and at first we expected, okay, this guy's starting off hot. He's been really good. After that, and when Garrett Cole gets back, we're just going to plug him in the bullpen, and he's going to be a long relief pitcher. But obviously, that has not been it. Luis Gil, he's won his last 5 starts, and his worst start, well, it wasn't even really his worst start, but it was his most earned run start, and that was against the LA Dodgers. So I look at it, 3 runs allowed in 5 2/3 innings against the Dodgers, and they got the win 6-4. I'll take that start any day from Luis Gil. And with Luis Gil, in his last 5 starts, he's been able to go at least 5 innings. His shortest was just 5 innings against the Boston Red Sox. Second shortest was 5 2/3 against the LA Dodgers. And then it's been 6+. And he's racked up at least 5 Ks in all 5 of his starts, 9 being the highest against the LA Angels in the 2-1 victory. Second most was the Seattle Mariners in the 5-0 shutout. And also, I mean, the guy doesn't allow runs, really. His ERA at home is 1.58, and he has pitched against Baltimore. He pitched once, and he was spectacular. 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. And I think the Yankees are going to need that for their Game 3 start against the Baltimore Orioles. And this is a tight race. Both teams have 24 losses. The Yankees have 3 more games played and 3 more wins. So it's going to really come down to pitching. And I look at this pitching staff, and it's also going to come down to how the Yankees 5-9 really steps up. Kind of scratch Verdugo in that way because he sometimes bats fifth, sometimes starts cleanup, but really the 6-9 bottom of the lineup needs to get going. You know what you're getting out of Soto and Judge. You already know. The 2 guys that are going to make the All-Star game, and they have over 1 million votes currently, the last time I checked the ballot. So those 2 guys are going to be your starters for the AL team. And that kind of wasn't a question, along with Astros' Kyle Tucker. But with the Yankees lineup, this team, if they want to go far, and assuming this is their lineup, essentially nothing, we don't know what they're going to do at the trade deadline, but say this is the lineup going into the postseason, which I hope there are some changes to this lineup. But when you're a playoff team, sometimes, and many times, your bottom of the lineup steps up in a big way, and I wouldn't say no names, but the names that you don't really hear from really step up in a big way to get you to the next round and next series. But these 2 teams, the Baltimore Orioles and the New York Yankees, are the 2 best teams in the AL East, and the two best teams in the AL. Now, getting back to Boston, back to that recap. Like I said, base running was a major issue. Base running was a major issue in this series. And a stat from Twitter, from Red Sox Nation Stats, or I guess, I'm not going to call it X. Red Sox have stolen an American League best 22 bases so far this month, in the month of June. It's the most stolen bases in any June month for Boston since 2018, which was 25 stolen bases the year that the Boston Red Sox won the World Series. The 69 Boston steals is their most over the first 72 games of the season since 1918, which was 75. Now, another question that I have for this series and the next series was 2 of those games was nationally televised. One was on Fox, one was on ESPN. But the game on ESPN, where you know still a lot of people watch Boston Red Sox versus Yankees. It's still the biggest rivalry in baseball. So I think the Baltimore Orioles definitely had their eyes glued to this game because the Boston Red Sox took advantage of a Yankee weakness. And that was looking at the base runner and trying to get him out. And I know the Boston Red Sox have speed, but I mean, this Boston Red Sox team ran over Jose Trevino and Marcus Stroman, and the big thing that they were saying was Marcus Stroman's leg kick, and it was really affecting them. And that's a disadvantage that you have in Marcus Stroman that the Boston Red Sox clearly scouted, and they took advantage of. Now, I think with the Boston Red Sox, their strategy was perfect. They played an almost perfect series except for Game 1. Now, for the Baltimore Orioles, I think you're going to kind of see some things that the Boston Red Sox did. play the small ball with the bunt, and when you get walks from the Yankees starters or relief pitchers, I mean, take advantage. The Yankees, I believe in just the game 3 alone, had 6 walks, and I think Stroman had 3 of those, so the Yankees couldn't get out, and the Yankees need to score in runners in scoring position, too, because that was a rough task in that game 3 where Gleyber Torres had a prime opportunity, and he has a 3-0 count. Gleyber Torres has a 3-0 count. And their pitcher, I forgot his name, comes back and gets him out on sweeper after sweeper. And that sweeper is nasty, but, I mean, that pitcher's in the dirt, and Gleyber decided to try and golf it out. But this Yankees team, obviously there's still some flaws, but there's flaws in any team, of course. And that's why you address it at the deadline. I think the Yankees could use another reliever. I know everyone says with cardiac Clay Holmes and all of that. I think maybe get a relief pitcher. I don't know who it's going to be. I really don't. Whether it's like a Tanner Scott. I really don't know if they're going to go for Mason Miller. I could see more of a team like the Padres or a team, just a different type of team. Because, and with these guys, like Everson Pereira, like we just said, on the LTIR, long-term injury reserve, done for the year. So he's obviously not getting traded. You look at the current Yankee lineup, and you say to yourself, they said that, according to, I think, ESPN, they said that they're going to be very aggressive. So the Yankees are going to be aggressive. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Does it mean getting one big-time player and that's your aggressiveness? Or do you make multiple moves and part ways with some people from the farm to try and make your team currently better? Because the Yankees are in World Series or bust territory. And we've known that. We've talked about it pretty much every season we've covered this team. And we talk about it all the time. That this team is World Series or bust. They have a window that they have to win a World Series. And it's now. It is now. You have your prime superstar with Juan Soto. You have Aaron Judge. 2 guys that can carry the boats and take you to the promised land, the World Series. But it's got to be from other guys too. You cannot rely on 2 superstars and expect that they too are going to try and beat the Baltimore Orioles or another playoff team by themselves. They can't do it. It is not possible. It is a 1-9 batting lineup, and those guys have to produce in some way, whether it's getting on or driving in runs. It doesn't have to be the pretty home run ball 450 feet in Yankee Stadium. And plus, your stadium is built to score runs. It's built for lefties. They can rely on the short porch. And when when you have a stadium like that, you have to take advantage. Soto has, Rizzo has when he was healthy. Rizzo is obviously out for a long period of time. He is out 4 to 6 weeks with an arm fracture suffered versus Boston. Getting into kind of a standings check. Yankees are 50-24, 22-10 at home, 28-14 away. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Baltimore Orioles are 47-24, 1.5 games back of the New York Yankees. They're 25-14, 22-10 away, 25-14 at home. 2-game win streak for them, and an 8-2 in the last 10. Those are the top 2 teams. Then you got the Boston Red Sox at 37-35, Blue Jays at 35-36. And then the Tampa Bay Rays at 34-38. It's kind of odd that the 4 out of 5 teams have a winning that have had at least one win, and the Yankees have 2 straight losses. So I guess that's cool for all the Yankee haters out there. Getting kind of into the Baltimore Orioles series, they have Nestor Cortez going, Garrett Cole and Luis Gil. So that's cool. You get Cole and Heel back to back. That's awesome. And another thing with the Luis Gil that we haven't really mentioned, too, is his current stats. The current stats for Luis Gil. 9-1 with a 2.03 ERA, 80 innings pitched already, and he's allowed 18 earned runs in 10 games. 96 strikeouts, and an opponent batting average of 142. His win-loss at home is 5-0. And at home, he has allowed 7 earned runs in 7 games started with 55 Ks. If those numbers don't scream AL All-Star Game, then I don't know what does. I think Luis Gil is going to start Game 1. Well, not really Game 1, but of the All-Star Game. And why not? He's been spectacular. And another thing I love about the All-Star Game that's different than the NFL or the NHL is it's a real game. Like, these guys actually pitch pretty much how they normally do. Maybe they throw a right down the middle fastball here and there for them to try and hit. But overall, it's pretty much a real game, and that's kind of what I like about the MLB All-Star Game. Now, right now, I guess while we're talking about the All-Star Game, the Yankees currently in it as long as the ballots hold. It is Alex Verdugo, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto. Jose Trevino, I believe, is in third. I believe Anthony Volpe is in third. I think Gleyber Torres is in seventh. Pretty sure. I have to look at the ballot again if I'm right. If I'm not, leave a comment below of my errors. But more stuff about Luis Gil, I guess. At home, he's been very good, and on the away, he's been very good. Looking at Gleyber Torres now. Gleyber Torres has been a name that has popped around, and I hear everybody talking about Gleyber Torres, and especially in the Red Sox series, how he sold a bases-loaded opportunity. No outs, by the way. Couldn't even get a run in. Couldn't even draw a walk because I changed that game. But I look at the game and how Gleyber Torres has played, and he's been playing his way out of New York, and I think that is definitely something to agree with. The guy has not been good this year, and I look at Gleyber Torres and I say to him, well, I don't really say to him, but I say, like, there's a ship that has a contract extension for the New York Yankees, but there are certain goals that the Yankees want to see you hit and certain elements that you need to have if you want to become the long-term Yankee for the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 years maybe. And that is bat. You gotta have a batting average around 250, 260. And I know he's capable of doing that. But he's currently batting 222 with 6 home runs. And 73 strikeouts. Very poor. This guy is striking out a lot. And ugly swings too. And then another part of this ship that he needs to have, you gotta clean up the second base errors. The throws, everything is just not good. I hate saying this, but he plays like Robinson Cano, but at a very, very worse version of him. Robinson Cano is one of the smoothest second basemen I've ever seen. And Gleyber, I feel like, tries to play that type of Robbie Cano scoop, quick toss. Cool. But it's about making the play. Robinson Cano knew he would make the play. And Gleyber Torres has not done that. He has made, I want to say he's probably has one of the top leaders in errors in second base. And hitting has been no better. The fact that really many people voted for him for an All-Star game is kind of odd. Because the guy's been bad this year, and I hope he plays good down the stretch after the All-Star break. Because, I mean, his job in terms of this year probably isn't going to be replaced. Off-season wise, maybe. Off-season wise, maybe they don't keep him. But with Gleyber Torres, the guy needs to find a way to bounce back. And if he can do that, great. But I'm looking at these stats right now on the laptop, and they're so ugly. 217 batting average against lefties. An OPS of 642. Against righties, not much better. 7 points more, 224. 628 OPS. 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. So most of his production is against the right-handers. At home, he's batting 195 with 2 home runs. Away, he's batting better at a 242, which isn't spectacular, and an under 700 OPS. Day games, he's actually a good day game player. He's in terms of batting average, he's his 278 hitter, but his OPS is at a 727, so that's not good. And then the night games, he's awful with that 194 average and a 584 OPS in night games. And most of the Yankee games are night games. Oh, it's like if the guy's not playing at 12 o'clock noon or 1 o'clock, the guy doesn't have it. In terms of the months, last 30 days he's batting 220 with the 695 OPS. The last 15 days he's batting 192 with a 615 OPS. In the last 7 days, which is awful, he has 4 hits and 26 at-bats for a 154 average and a 549 OPS. June, he's batting 196. May, he was batting 240. April, he was batting 233. And March, which was probably his worst month, a 133 average with a 449 OPS. I don't see any Yankee fans trying to defend him. I am not one of them. I'm a Gleyber optimistic fan, because I always feel like he starts bad and then he somehow turns it around. But if you're asking me if there was questions coming in and you're asking me what a typical contract would be for Gleyber Torres, it's no more than 1 year. And I'll probably give this guy maybe 10 mil a year, 11, 12 mil. 12 mil, maybe the most. I don't think he's really worth a lot. I think he's a good first baseman. A few years ago, you know, you talk about 2019, 2018 season I think he played in. The guy looked like he was going to be the next second baseman for a long time. And then he fell off a cliff, and the he has slowly been getting worse and worse and worse. I would have loved the Yankees to go out and get Luis Arias, but Padres snagged him, and Gleyber Torres was already playing that position, and I know Brian Cashman wasn't going to replace him then. So it's been a tough road for some Yankees. But yeah, that's the bottom line, is the Yankees hitting has to be better. The starting pitching's been good, and the bottom line is that Garrett Cole is coming back, and you know he's going to be pumped up. Stadium's going to be bumping. I am going to Garrett Cole's game on Wednesday. That's going to be hype. I'm going to maybe try and, I probably won't say a vlog, but maybe some YouTube shorts of some of the gameplay maybe, or some live reactions I'll try if I can. As long as my phone doesn't die, because I feel like my phone always dies in the prime moments. It'll be the 5th inning. I bet my phone is going to be like 10%. And of course, I'm going to have to keep battery, especially for the car ride home. But yeah, it's going to be a fun game, I think. Just the vibes. It's going to be my first Yankee game of the year. I've not been to any Yankee games. I haven't been to Juan Soto at all. I haven't seen him. Haven't seen even Aaron Judge. I haven't seen any games this year. I believe my all-time record is 3-3 in 6 games. I went to a Subway Series game they won. I went to a White Sox doubleheader where they split, so 2-1. I went to a Boston Red Sox game where they lost 2-2. And then I went to the Aaron Hicks 3-run home run against the Houston Astros, so 3-2. And then I want to say there's another game I went to that I can't remember now. The Guardians beat the Yankees in a playoff game. So 3-3. Hey, maybe we make it 4-3 with me in the building. I hope so. It'd be a great, fun game. I mean, Yankees, Orioles, calling them out. Let me see who's pitching for the Baltimore Orioles. Let's see. Probable pitchers, that's what we need. So, alright. So we have it here. Okay, so we have Albert Suarez, 3-0, 1.61 ERA, 37 strikeouts against Nestor Cortez, who's 3-5, 3.59 ERA. And then we have Cade Pavich, 0-1, 4.76 ERA, 8 strikeouts, probably only had a few starts, I would assume. That game's going to be on Amazon Prime, so if anyone who has Amazon Prime wanted to know. And then Garrett Cole's going to be pitching. That'll be cool. Looking at the stats, looks like a lot of players have some numbers against them. James McCann, is that who that is? Yeah, James McCann has good numbers against Garrett Cole. Nobody has played against Pavich. Gunnar Henderson's going to be a good player to watch out for. And yeah. But that's going to wrap up this video. That's going to do it. Boston Red Sox recap. Little preview against the Baltimore Orioles. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like. Leave a follow. We're at 111 subscribers. On the road to 200. On the road to 1K. Join the movement. Join the program. And as always, this has been Vin at Inside the Boot Podcast. And as always, let's go Yanks. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.